620, give me that job I'm on.
Hey, we're going to get started. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is the Military Police Regimental Association. This is our quarterly professional development session for the year. And I'm very, very excited. Tonight, we have a world-renowned speaker tonight that's going to deliver an outstanding presentation, Ms. Kathryn Troutman, on the two-page resume. Many of you probably know that the federal government has pretty much went away from the 7, 8, 9-page resume to now they have a two-page resume. And I know for a fact we heard her presentation, and I tell you what, this is the best person in the business right here and is doing presentation on the two-page resume. So tonight we have downloaded the slides in the chat, so if you can kind of go through and you can put them on your computer as you go through her outstanding presentation. Next slide, please. This is pretty much a slide before Kathryn. I think it's one more before this one. I think you went to number 3.
One more, yeah. No, that's it. Oh, there we go. I got it.
Okay. Hey, these sessions we've been doing now for about 4 years. You know, I want to thank my my peers on this call that helped set these sessions up. There's a lot of work that goes into developing these mentorship sessions, but I would not be remiss if I didn't thank Mike True and Beth Harmon and Oliver Saunders for help putting these together. We started planning on these things probably about 2 months out and pretty much discussing these about every week. But I would say thanks to my peers for helping continue these outstanding sessions. But these sessions are a way to provide, members of the Military Police Regimental Association with educational and professional development opportunities, and they're a way to connect MPs. And we have extended this to family members as well. So I see a couple of family members on the call tonight, which is good. And some of the quarterly topics we discussed are leadership topics, organization culture topics. We always kind of go back to the military police. And we discuss the state of the MP regiments. We have done sessions on VA benefits and mentorship and talent management. And then we always kind of look at soldiers and family members that are transitioning. Next slide, please. This is some just admin notes. Pretty much the attendees cannot turn on the camera. You will be muted throughout the webinar. You can ask questions. Pretty much raise your hands and kind of put the questions in the chat. And we'll stop, Kathryn, as she go through doing the presentation and bring up those different questions that you may have. When asking a question, please be mindful of the audience selection. Everyone means all attendees will have visibility. And this webinar will be recorded and we will upload it on the Military Police Regimental Association page, and you will be able to go in and see later. At this time, without further ado, the lady of the hour, Kathryn Troutman, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. What a great introduction. And I guess my middle name is How to Write a Two-Page Federal Resume. And that's what we're going to talk about this evening. Because a lot of people wrote, well, recently, before May 29, it was 5 pages. And then a lot of people write more than 5 pages. So here we go. I want to ask in the chat box if you could tell me, I'm going to write to everybody in the room. Here's the question. Do you want to get a federal job, or do you have a federal job? Tell me what your interest is in federal employment in the chat box, so I have some idea of where you are with federal job search. If you could, please. That's what I'm going to be teaching, is federal resume writing for all of you. Oh, Chris is getting initially hired. Congratulations. Wow. Okay, Amy's current fed. Okay. Lorraine has a federal job, wants another one. Okay. Oh, a lot of people have federal jobs. Yes, you want a federal job. Okay. Seeking. Okay, so it's a combination of. All right, good. So you all want to know how to do a federal job. I agree with that. Okay, good. All right. So the book that I'm going to be speaking about, and the PowerPoint, is this one right here, the Federal Resume Guidebook. I updated it in a great big hurry. After May 29, the memo went out. It was so shocking. All resumes will be 2 pages. So the first step here, I'm going to go to USA Jobs in a few minutes and do a little tour, but I'm going to use the PowerPoint to start. We have a little exercise here. Strategy 1 here is to just go over the basics. 2-page resume. It has to be skills-based. We got to get your skills. It has to be searchable, and searchable is more important today than yesterday, and it's getting to be more and more important. And I'm going to show you how to find keywords in this class this evening. I'm going to go to USA Jobs and take a vacancy announcement, and I'm going to put it into AI and show you how to find keywords. It's fabulous. You're going to love it. And then we're going to talk about accomplishments, because they're so important for your career to help you get referred, help you get an interview. So that's our topic there. Now, the Federal Resume has to include month and year for each job. Very, very important. And you have to have hours per week. So those are critical pieces of information to add. And I am going to show you in a few minutes on USA Jobs the resume builder format on USA Jobs and the upload, and I'll show you that information. But let's look at 2 resumes to start. So I've got 2 of them here. One is a private sector person at Geico, wants to work for FEMA. The other one is a military spouse who is a current Fed. GS9 wants to get promoted. So that's the 2 samples I have here. And Milton is the first one, and he's trying to get a IC13. And I put this information into AI, and the prompt is, I am a job seeker. Please review and analyze the job announcement and provide 8 core competencies, core capabilities. And then I hit go. And there's the words. It's a wonderful list of keywords. It's like your checklist. So this resume has to have crisis response, disaster recovery, policy interpretation, supervision, continuity of operations, disaster assistance. Those words have to be in the resume, either in the duty section or in the accomplishments. It's a great list, isn't it? So here's the before resume, the long version that we used to write with the paragraphs. Here's the new resume right here. This is your first look at a 2-page resume right here. I've got the hiring authority at the very top. He's eligible for Schedule A. And remember, he's private sector coming into federal. Then I've got a summary that is optional. If you don't have space for the summary, you don't have to write it. You don't get any score for it. But it just says he's a results-driven insurance claims supervisor, strategic advisor, 18 years, whatever. We have a few keywords in there. Then I decided to put his technical skills next because they were very FEMA-ish, and I wanted to put them on page 1. Then certifications are critical for FEMA, so there they are. And then there's his job, Geico. And look at what I did then. I put key accomplishments first, before duties. And you can play around with that when you work on your resume and see if you want to put accomplishments first on page 1, because page 2, there's the duties. He does team leadership, corporate coordination, resource mobilization, and flood insurance. Those are the areas of his skill in his job. And then job number 2 is travelers. Now, I could have started out on page 1 with the duties, but that would have been starting out with the team leadership. So I just wanted to put the accomplishments up on page 1. So with the 2-page resume, you have to decide what's going to be on page 1. Now, if you have a new degree, that should be on page 1. If education is required for your job, that should be on page 1. So you can decide how to organize it. The second one here, Jenny, she is the military spouse. She's in Naples, and she's applying for this GS11 job. And there's the prompt again. I'm a job seeker. Please give me 6 core capabilities. And there they are. Housing inspection, housing laws, housing operations, resident relations, customer service, and housing program management. the AI gives great, neat lists of keywords. And that's the old format. Okay, here's her resume. And I have her hiring authority at the top, EO 13473. And I recommend hiring authorities go to the top. So if you're a veteran, it should say eligible for veterans preference, or it should say eligible for 30% or more disabled veterans preference at the top. So managers and HR recruiters will see the hiring authority quickly. There's her summary, and we have keywords in there. I put specialized skills up here because they're very good for housing. Then there's her job, GS9. And then I put her housing program operations experience first, and then a key accomplishment. Page 2 has personnel administration and workforce with an accomplishment. And the next is marketing and communications with an accomplishment. And then I did her training and some recognitions for her work. So in this case, I have duties and accomplishments on page 1 and the specialized skills. Now, you all might have specialized skills in your job, and you should feature them in a separate section rather than just blending them into the duties, because it's easy to see them this way instead of just in the duty section. So you can all check your resume and see if you have a technical skills or specialized skills section in your resume. I don't know. Okay, this is a little exercise. How many hats do you wear at work? And this goes to writing the resume. And if we back up here, the hats that Jenny has is housing program management, personnel administration, and marketing and communications. Those are the hats she wears in her job. So here's another sample for a supervisory law enforcement person. The hats he wears are law enforcement leadership, supervision, facility security, criminal investigations, crisis, and security assessments. And then those words go into the resume, so it's real easy to read. We have them in bold, upper and lower: personnel management, training oversight, risk management. The words show up right there. So I want to ask you to type something in the chat box. I want you to type 5 or 6 hats that you wear in your current job. Go ahead. It won't take you long to think of what you do. I'll type my hat so you can see what I do. That's what I do every day. That's what I want you to write down, is what you do in your job every day, just like this list here. There you go. Good, Lorraine. Other stuff. That's right. That's right. And what you would do, Lorraine, after you have these hats here, is take a look at your current job block and see where these words show up in your resume. Because I would like to see auditing as bold, upper and lower, data analytics, bold, upper and lower, customer service and project management. Those 4 hats that you wear, I'd like to see as headers, like this one here. Just like that. He's got law enforcement, you would have auditing. The next one is data analytics, and then have a description underneath of it. So it's organized, and so the HR people can read it very quickly. So Alan is an instructor, mentor, reviewer, data, and QC. Same thing, outline format. And there you go, look at them all, they're good. Don't you agree it's a good idea to have it very easy to read? And those words that you're writing are key words for your next job as well. So this is the beginning of writing the new resume. Now, after the class, you can go and copy and paste these words, take a picture of them or something, copy and paste these words right into your current job block and look and see where these words are. So surveillance should be like the first sentence for Nick. And then Thomas, customer service, second, law enforcement, first responder. Those all need to stand out because those are the hats you wear in your job. So that's the beginning of writing your job block for your resume. All right, step number 3, keywords to match the vacancy announcement. Keywords are becoming more important by the day, by the hour, and the memo from OPM said that there will be more HR talent searching in USA Jobs. So keywords are more important than ever. So you're going to find the keywords in the qualification section or how you'll be evaluated. And I'm going to go to USA Jobs in just a second, and I'm going to show you how to find those words. Here's an example, though, for program analyst. See that section there? It says you have to show 1 year specialized experience in all this stuff as a GS9, and the job is an 11. And there's the words: identify and integrate resource requirements, manage financial operations, review annual civil budgets, develop budget estimates. Now, if you're going to apply for this job, make sure you like budget work, because the word budget is in here 4 or 5 times. Not all program analysts do a lot of budget, but this job is a big budget job. And so, see, again, this is how you would put the words in. For this guy, Walter Singleton, we put his achievements first. But then for his duties, we've got strategic program operations leadership. And then for this job, for HR, we have HR operations, project management, community relations, and then key accomplishments. So the words you just typed in the box could become the headers for that resume there. So let me go to USA Jobs now and show you how to do the keywords. So let's look for physical security specialist just to get started. And I'm going to look for hiring path for the public. So veterans preference will apply. And we can do this one right here, Cherry Point. Let's just see what the keywords are. Notice the result letters will not be sent to applicants. Oh, really? Oh, this is a flyer. This is not an open announcement. Let's go to another one. Let's do DLA in Japan. Okay, that's a GS12. Open to the public. Veterans preference will apply. So what I do with defining the keywords is I copy and paste the duties, and I have Copilot open already on my screen here. And I'll copy and paste that right in there. I'll make this bigger. And then I'm going to go back over here and go to the qualifications. Oh, that's what they want right there. Those 3 lines. And you have to show that experience as, what is it? This is a GS12 job. So you have to show it at the 11 level equal to the 11 level. So here it is. Okay, these words right here go into my AI. All right, let's see if there's any more words. Sometimes they have KSAs or they have core competencies. Now, these are not core competencies for the job. These are an indication that if you apply for this job, you'll have to take a test called the USA Hires Test. And they just put those words there. And later on in the announcement, it will tell you about USA Hires somewhere. There it is. Finally, there it is. After you submit this online application, you will be required to take this test called USA Hire Competency Test. And it tells you have to set aside 3 hours to take that test. So anyway, look out for it. Okay, so these are the only words we have. Let's just leave it there. All right, so I'm going to hit send, and it's going to give me a list of words. So physical security, vulnerability assessment, inspections, MilCon. So these words have to be in your resume, because if the HR people do a search, they might search for physical security. They might search for vulnerability. They might search for security inspections. or briefings, maybe threat analysis, maybe incident response. We don't know. We don't know what the keywords are that they'll search for. But this is a great list of words that you can use in your resume, either in the duty section or in the accomplishments at your highest grade level. So you don't have to have these words in every single job. You can have them in the job that's relevant, that will show the qualifications for the job. Let me do one more. Type in the chat box what job title you want me to look up, will you? What job do you want me to look up? You can tell me. Come on. I can look up military police. Want me to do that? Oh, there you go. Federal police officer. There you go. Right. Let's see if it's called that. I don't know. I don't think. Maybe it's just police officer. Anything HR. Okay. There it goes. Police officer GS5. Okay, let's do hiring path again. Public. There's 72 jobs. And let's do pay of let's just do GS11, see what we get. There we go. Oh, look at this. You got it. $70,000 recruitment? What? Oh my, and National Park Service is doing this? Oh my gosh. Supreme Court, they're doing 50K. All right. All right, let's do the keywords on this one. Oh, this is a SP1, whatever that is. They got their own. All right, let's see what the keywords are. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I got to use these keywords. I got to use them because they might be relevant for the job title. Okay, then, you got to be interested in one of these specialty units. I'm not putting all that into AI. I just want to put the job description in because that's very specialized. Whoa, isn't that interesting? Wow. Probably the questionnaire will ask you, oh, look at the earning is by rank. Well, they make it very clear. That's good. Now let's see if there's any KSAs or competencies or anything down here. Oh, it says resume have to be 2 pages, minimum of 10-point type, and margins 0.5. The headers can be a little bit bigger to make it readable. I sure do agree with that. Okay, experience has to be 1 year responsible experience. Examples are these. I'm taking them. I'll put that in there. Education, additional information. Let's see. No. Oh, they're going to give you all this written exam, physical fitness, medical. Okay. Yeah. That's not keywords. It's a long announcement, how to apply. All right, that's it. All right, that's fine. All right. We just want to see emphasis for the resume. Okay, I'll look at age restrictions. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. 10 words. Stop. Law enforcement operations, criminal investigations, intelligence-led policing. These are good. You know what this is? Basically, it's your checklist for writing your resume to make sure you have the right resume words in there in your current job description or the second. So you need to say law enforcement operations. Look at the word, there's policing down there, but the word police is intelligence-led and policing. That's interesting. Threat-driven operations. So those are the words that you should try to get into your job block for your resume. And I'd like to note, I'm going to ask you this question. You can type it in the chat box. Have you used AI to find keywords for your resume yet? Have you done this yet? Look how easy it is, right? Carrie's done it. Yeah, it's excellent. When I was working on the book, when I had to rewrite this book, I did this list for each sample to make sure I had the words in. And a lot of my resumes didn't have those words. I had to add them. Yeah. So this announcement, there's probably an age requirement in here somewhere. Read it and make sure the age is right. I don't know. It could be 35. Who knows? Did you see the age? What is the age?
Right up there. Applicants must have reached their 21st birthday, but not their 37.
21 to 37. All right, that's fine. There you go. All right, I'll do one more because somebody wants human resources. HR, here we go. And we'll do public. I think that's probably a competitive person who wants that, somebody who's in the government. And I don't know what grade they want, but let's choose 12. Okay. Well, there's a 13. Look at this. Bureau of Engraving and Printing, multiple locations. Really? Joint activities is 11, 12. How many are there? 79 jobs. That's a lot. Wow. They're hiring. All right, let's do this one here. Joint activities for the Army. HR specialist. Okay, you're going to be at Fort Bragg. And, there's the words. Let's do it and see if there's anything in there that's unexpected. You never know. I mean, when I'm doing this, it takes less than 4 minutes to do it, It's so fast. Whoa. That's all the people that can apply. Okay, for the 11, here we are. That's a very conservative announcement. And let's just check and see if there's KSAs or anything. You're going to have to take the special the USA Hires test. That's what it means right there. No, I don't see any more KSAs or competencies. That's it. Let's look at this questionnaire for a second. So usually an announcement comes with a questionnaire. You check off veterans preference or any kind of veteran information. Current Army civilian employees, you have to answer all these questions. And current DOD people have to answer these questions. Because this was a competitive announcement. This was not public, it was competitive. So they're asking all these questions of the current federal employees. Military spouses, this is long, isn't it? Hold on, I'm getting somewhere. Nope. These are all like personnel hiring authority questions. Okay, now, the position requires the incumbent to be eligible for top secret clearance. Okay. Have to be clear of drugs. Have to be 1 year probation. This temporary duty. Okay. All right. Now, here's another assessment. Ask you how you're going to qualify. It's going to be this one here that you have 1 year specialized experience at the 9. Oh my gosh, it doesn't have the 4 Constitution questions. Can you believe it? I thought all announcements. I'll show you another one in a minute. There's a surprise. All right, let me do the keywords here. They're all different, whatever you see. advisory services, performance management, entitlements, policy interpretation. Those are good words for HR. Strategic human capital, employee support. Those are good. Workforce planning. Those are very good words to go by. And every announcement is different, as you saw. So there's your keyword lesson right there. And I just want to do one more thing. I just want to look at a questionnaire. One more. To see if I can find those questions. Another USA Hires test. Two pages. So you can usually almost always view the questionnaire ahead. And there it is. Let me see if the questions are in here. I'll go past all this personnel stuff. There they are. They're here. All right. So most announcements have these questions. This is called short essay questions, and they're narrative questions. The first one is, how has your commitment to the Constitution and the founding principles of the U.S. inspired you to pursue this role? Well, 200 words is the longest you can write. And you can use the same answers for every job announcement. You can just copy and paste them in there, and they're not scored. It doesn't have anything to do with your application. They're going to read it, though. They're going to read it. So you will see these questions and write them ahead of time. Don't wait until you apply for the job. Make sure you do them ahead of time so that you can get this done and copy and paste them right in here. I just wanted to show them to you in case you've never seen them before. And you can't use AI to write these. You've got to write it yourself. It says right there. Certify that you did not use a consultant or AI. Okay. All right. Back to the PowerPoint. Here we go. So next is accomplishments. I'll tell you the difference between accomplishment and a duty. Yeah, Chris says he does not like those questions. Well, yeah, I know. It's tough. I agree with you. There's a huge difference between an accomplishment and a duty. A duty is something you do every day. It's on your position description. You just do the work. An accomplishment is something unique, special, a problem, a new program, new training, new something. It's not a duty because it's something that's unusual. And I'm not going to have you do this because we don't have quite enough time, but I usually have people write 8 to 10 words about an accomplishment that could go on their resume. And I'll show you some samples. Now, here's the blue words here are what I say. The accomplishment will add interest to your resume. You want your resume to be interesting so that you can get referred to the manager and so that the manager will want to meet you. And I'm a federal resume coach. People send me their resumes to look at and match up to an announcement. And military awards are good, except you have to say why you got the military award. You can't just do the award or the medal. You have to write why. What was the scenario that caused the award? So the biggest problem that I see with resumes in the whole world, private sector and federal, is the lack of accomplishments. Not kidding. If you all were to send me your resumes, page 1, I would look for accomplishments. No doubt I won't see any. Page 2, probably not. It's truly unbelievable how people don't write about what they've done that's outstanding to show how innovative they are and creative and how mission oriented they are. And you have to do it now. The competition is so serious. Here's a sample of a work and family life program supervisor. I managed annual scheduling for 450 plus classes over 2 FFSC locations with 6-month lead time. Successfully delivered programs supporting military families, 100% accuracy. See the numbers there? 450, 100% accuracy. Please add numbers into your accomplishments. People, dollars, size. The second one here is the president of the Rising Six. I established the 507th Air Refueling Junior Enlisted Council, conducted 24 meetings with 300 people. Basically, I know you're saying what you've done that's really good, but you want to get an interview, right? Right? Yes. If your resume is only duties, you're probably not going to get an interview because you have to stand out. So I have a tool on my website. I'll show it to you in a second for writing accomplishments. And I recommend this format: the context of your story, the challenge of your story, the action, what did you do to fix it, and the results, what happened. And here's some more notes about the context. Where were you? What was going on? Challenge, what was the problem? What was new? Actions, what did you do? And here you need to use the word I to emphasize you in the story. And then the results, what happened. And here's another one. This is my favorite story of all time, the Monk Seal story. Here's a short one. At Pacific Fisheries, I'll use this one up here, had been in decline since the 1970s, and its extinction was well documented. After declining for more than 50 years, the Hawaiian monk seal population steadily increased, a testament to the success of the transformative conservative program I led. I spearheaded. You see that word I in there? I want you to use it in the accomplishments. All right, but before I show you core competencies, I have to show you my builder. Okay, here's my website here. I showed you this is my sample page here for, you all can look at it here. I'll give it to you. Here's a link. Here's a sample for Air Force C-17 avionics test station person. And so this is on my website for you to look at anytime you want. This is what it looks like for a builder resume, for the upload resume. And next page here is for what it looks like if you use the builder. So you can see the difference right here. But over to my website again, I want to show you that CCAR builder. So you can write accomplishments using it. It's free. It's easy. No username, no password. Just type your stories in here and get your accomplishments. And this CCAR builder is awesome to use to prepare for the interview. So type in your agency, your name. I like to have a title of the story here so you can remember what it is. Now I have the challenge first because for senior executive service, they want the challenge. So you can write the challenge first here. What was the problem? What happened? What's new? Context, as wherever you were, the date, put it right there. Actions, what did you do? I did this, and I did this. And results, this is what happened. And then you click on I'm not a robot and you send it. And then, okay, ready for this? And then you take the whole CCAR story you just typed up. It comes to you in your email in like 30 seconds. You take the whole thing, you put it into AI and you say, please give me an edited version of this accomplishment in 45 words for my 2-page resume. Boom. There it is. Right there. Pop it into the resume. So this CCAR builder is a double. It helps you to write accomplishments for your resume, and it helps you to prepare for the interview because it helps you to write down your stories so that you can remember them when you get to the interview. So I hope you use it. And here is the link to the builder. You can use it anytime you want. There it is. All right, back to the PowerPoint. Okay, strategy 5 is to add core competencies to your resume. And the core competencies are sometimes in the resume and the announcement, but sometimes they're not. Customer service could be added for most of the jobs you apply to. Interpersonal effectiveness should be added. And I have a whole bunch of ones here. So for a management analyst, these are good competencies that you could add. This is for a supply specialist. And I'll show you a sample. Here's what we had for a housing program for Jenny. Those are her core competencies. All right, so who looks at your resume? Well, nowadays, AI, it could be the first pick. AI could be the first run that they pull out for you. It's coming. It's really coming. And then a human HR person looks at the resume. Yeah. But they pulled out those that have the key words and the right education. And HR will say, well, look, are you eligible? Do you meet minimum qualifications? And how do you compare with other candidates? And they decide who is best qualified and who is referred. Human person. And then it goes to this official here, the manager, and they decide if they want to interview you or not. And so, these are human things that happen right there. And here's another sample for a supply person. His skills are support logistics operations and technical expert. We have an accomplishment right here. The word accomplishment is there. I do not blend accomplishments with duties, so I want them to be seen. There's page 2. Oh, here's the short version here. We put the clearance at the top. We usually put it at the very top. Then here's his summary. Then I put accomplishments first. That one I just showed you before was the long version. Sorry. But here it is. The accomplishments are Little Creek Center Excellence. He transformed a 2,500 square foot facility and he did property accountability. And then here's his duties and responsibilities: supply chain, logistics, customer support, and technical support. And then there's his education and certification and technical proficiencies. So you could decide if you wanted to move technical proficiencies to page 1, you could. You could also decide if you want certifications on page 1, you could do that. You can do that if you upload your resume. I think we have an HR person in the class here. I want to ask that HR person, do you prefer the builder resume or the upload resume? Maybe they'll tell me. I'm dying to know. I'm asking everybody. What do HR people like better, the builder or the upload? Maybe we'll get the answer. I don't know. All right. Strategy 7 is to edit carefully. All right. Look at these words here, everybody. These are words I do not want you to type in your resume. Responsible for, duties include, helped with, worked with, assisted with. If you say you helped with doing something, that means you didn't really do it. You helped somebody else. So don't do that. Don't say helped with. And assisted with means you assisted somebody else. Worked with, you could say you collaborated. So these are really important words that you could skip, and it will save a lot of space if you don't add these words. You could just go straight to the verb. Manage operations, cooperated with staff, plan and coordinate. I have helped set up meetings. Oh, really? You helped set up meetings? You organize new office systems. Skip the helped with. And then tenses, your current job should be present tense, and then the past jobs would be past tense. So planned and delivered would be all the past tense. So keep your tenses squared. The use of I. You all probably, when you go back and look at your resume, will probably not have the word I in your resume anywhere. But I want you to add I into your resume. I want you to add I into your accomplishments. And don't start I with every sentence. You're not doing that. I know you aren't. I want you to add I 2 or 3 times per page and add it in the accomplishments. The accomplishments are things that you have done. I designed and delivered. I updated this book to the 2-page federal resume. And I would use the word I because I did it. So you have to try to use the word I wherever you can to show it's you. Okay, strategy 8, pay attention to document design. You saw the formats with the bold, upper and lower information. You've got to make it easy to read since it's 2 pages. We emphasize skills. Does the design of the resume help clarify qualifications? You better believe it. The resumes I showed you are designed for readability. So that's what you have to do. Now, strategy 9 is to submit your resume to USA Jobs. And there I have the questions. There they are. I wanted to show you live where they were. There they are. All right, that's the end of my PowerPoint, but I want to show you the book now and show you some of the samples in the book. because I can show you the full pages in the book here. There it is. And what I just gave you, the strategies are the same as what's in the book right here. So I can go to James, who's law enforcement, and show you his resume before and after, page 22. No, it's not page 22. There he is, James. So he is a detective in private industry, Howard County Police Department. And that's the old big block, bunch of words. It's terrible. And this format is not good either. It's way too short. Doesn't say anything. This is the old school format we did until May 29, which I still like. So here's his job he's going for. He's going for criminal investigator, special agent, counter assault team with Secret Service, GS 11, target 13. And I put those words into AI and I said, I'm a job seeker. Please review, analyze the job announcement and give me 8 core competencies. So the words are here. Oh, I'm not using the book. I thought I was using the PowerPoint. There they are. Criminal investigative, protective operations, threat mitigation, tactical team, evidence, analysis, interviewing, interrogation, arrest. Whoa, that was a really good list of words. Really good. Those are the words that you would need to get in there for criminal investigator, special agent in job block 1 or 2. And here is the 2-page resume. We put clearance up there if it's applicable. Here's the summary. Law enforcement professional, 18 years, experience, complex investigation, surveillance operations, state, federal, state, local coordination, again, tactical instructor, SWAT specialist. And I put his technical skills up here because they were very relevant. And then there's his job block. Detective Special Investigative Division, 2016 to present. And we put some performance metrics first here. 185 annual fugitive apprehensions, 4-year training, leadership, successfully trained 200 plus officers, crisis response, and multi-agency leadership. Just kind of hit the key words. And then we have accomplishments, a U.S. Marshals Task Force operation, advanced tactical training. And then we have the duties. Here's the duties. Fugitive apprehension, SWAT training, and crisis response. Okay, this resume's got keywords in it, let me tell you. Really does. And then there's specialized assignments and his law enforcement certification. Now, maybe these certifications should have been on page 1. We could have moved them up. They could have gone up there. You can decide where you want to put stuff on page 1. But this resume is a law enforcement resume right here. And you can use this format. Technical skills are good to put there. Criminal investigations, SWAT, training, legal. So that's a good format to use. And we always want to add special projects for the resume. And then there's a cover letter. If you want to write a letter, I have a resume. I have a cover letter builder on my website also that you could use to write your cover letter. That's optional. You don't have to write it. This is an IT sample. I'll just show it to you real quick. This is a resume before. That's not good. This one's too long. There's the job. IT specialist, InfoSec. And I put it in I again. There's the keywords. It's so fabulous. You don't have to do this keyword thing on your own. You can just use AI visualization. Whoa, okay. Infrastructure services, enterprise storage. Those words. There they are. Here it is. For her, I put certifications on page 1, technical proficiencies on page 1. Then we did professional experience. And this one has an introduction to the job. Multi-territory project management, successfully delivered 200 projects. Visualization is right there. Process improvement. It's tight. There's page 2. These are the hats she wears. Cloud, health, platform, SME, process improvement, communication and stakeholder. Those are the hats she wears in her job right there. I am using Microsoft AI. It works good. Copilot, Microsoft Copilot AI. And there's her cover letter. Let me look at the table of contents and find another sample to show you. Another good sample for military is in the career change. I have a veteran who's a driver, and he's applying for a job as material handler. And that would be a good one to show you. Page number is probably wrong. There you go. There we are. This is for Eric. That's really him. That's really the ship where he got the job. He was applying for WG8 maintenance mechanic. And he was working for Goodwill, picking up stuff everywhere. And he didn't want to do that. He'd been in the Guard a long time and wanted to work for the government. So here he is. This is the job that he got right there, maintenance mechanic. This is the resume he gave me to start. And it's one page. It's really short. National nonprofit thrift retailer, operate heavy cargo equipment, seasonal delivery driver, another driver job. And then here's his Guard work for a long time. Boy, he made that really short, didn't he? Oh, he had one deployment to Qatar. No, maybe there's two deployments. He put his deployments in. That was good. And then the awards are good. All right, you want to see the resume that got him hired? Yeah, you do. Here it is. So we have at the very top his CDL license number, and that he is licensed to drive these pieces of equipment here. He's got his veterans preference up there, and he's got his clearance up there, right at the top. Then we did a summary of transportation logistics, 30 years, CDL, knowledge of DOT. It's a summary. This is optional. If you don't want to write it or can't write it, you don't have to write it. It's just introduction. Okay, next we put his licenses and endorsements, which are critical for this job. No way can these go on page 2 because they need to see them right away. Then here's his technical skills. These are all the vehicles that he's been running: Peterbilt, Freightliner, International, all those, all the trailer types, all the rigging equipment, all the material handling equipment. Right there. Easy to see. And then we did put key achievements and impact here: 30 years safety, maintained 0 accident record. Wow. Successfully managed deployment forecasting, supporting 55,000 reservists. What? Really? Wow. Hazardous material expertise, 0 accidents. So we put a little summary of achievements here. Okay, this is his last job that he had before getting this one. CDL driver, Class A. And his job responsibilities were transportation operations and vehicle management, material handling, customer services, and then there's one, then we have key accomplishments. You see, I typed the word key accomplishments in bold, upper and lower. See that? See that? I want them to stand out. I want the accomplishments to be seen. So we have an emergency response thing where he talked about adverse conditions with hurricanes, with donation goods flying all over the place. He described it to me. It was horrible. Safety and customer service during helping people with crisis. And then this job is CDL with U.S. drivers, multi-state transportation. You see how detailed it is? He's got the detail. He proved that he has a lot of transportation experience. And it's no secret. And here's his Guard job. He has it from 1998 to 2014, 45 hours per month, he wrote. And he did strategic logistics leadership warehouse. And there's the story of the 55,000 part-time for Port Gordon. He didn't say where they were activated to. Multiple deployments. Led expert forecasting, multiple deployments for Qatar. So they're short and sweet. And then there's the military awards. So the military awards are just listed. We don't put all the reasons for getting all the awards, going to take up too much space. So we have accomplishments like deployments, planning, projects. And you can see here how clear it is, the distinction between the overall duties and then accomplishments. They're separate, they're different. He was hired after he got the rigger job, which was a WG8. He came back. No, he got the maintenance job first. Then he came back to get a WG10 job for rigger. And for that resume, we added all the rigger equipment, rigger tools, rigger projects to the resume, took out some of the transportation stuff, and he got hired again. He got hired. This is a student resume. I'll just show it to you in case you are talking to any students. That's the before. You don't need to look at that. Here it is. So for 2 pages for the student, I always have education on page 1. There it is. And we have his master's degree, aerospace engineering, and we have design projects described right here. He did some cloud computing technology and dynamics of a rotating baseball coursework. So education for a recent grad, page 1. And then he had a couple of internships. There they are again, aircraft systems, and then key accomplishment is separate. That's for every resume everywhere, is accomplishments are separate. And when you look at your resume, when you go out of this class, look for keywords, look to see if duties are separate from accomplishments. You can look and see. I don't know what you have. All right, let me back to the table of contents. So if you have any questions, why don't you ask them now? So that I'll know what you'd like to learn. Can you type them in the chat box for me for a minute?
One question was specifically what are you using for those keyword searches? And I know the answer, but you might want to emphasize how you're getting to those keywords, what you're actually using.
It was Microsoft Copilot AI. Okay, Lorraine wants to know, how do I prepare a resume for internal assignment when there's no vacancy announcement and HR will try to match me to any open announcement? Well, what is your current occupational series, Lorraine? Auditor. Well, probably the internal assignment will be something related to auditing, don't you think? Don't you think it will be? Yeah, hopefully. So I think you should write the 2-page resume emphasizing everything that I've just told you, duties and accomplishments. Your resume might not have that right now. And that will help your manager give you a reassignment. If she can see or he can see duties and accomplishments, it'll help them a lot. And go ahead and target it toward auditor. I think you should. Now, make sure you also target it toward data, because there's so many data jobs right now. They might be interested, and I know you can do data work because auditors do. So keep that in mind also. Data analyst, you never know. It could be something like that. But that's what I would do, is just write the resume for auditor and data analyst and do the accomplishments separate from duties and give it to them. Just do it. I think it'll help them a lot. You may not have as great a resume as what you're seeing in my samples here. So let me see if there's any other military resume in here. $55. Oh, that's keywords. I have a ton of samples of accomplishments in the book. This is the biggest chapter in the book because, I'm so determined for people to add accomplishments to their resume. This one here is interesting. This National Park Service applicant, she wants to be a whitewater rafting guide. And her resume, we put her key skills at the top, and then her whitewater rafting expertise, and then hockey, and then research assistant, and then hostess. The resumes are all kind of similar in terms of the format. We have bold, upper, and lower for the all cap for the keywords. We have accomplishments. Wonder what happened to her accomplishment here. There was one. That's her right there in the white outfit. She let me use it in the book. Maximize your accomplishments. Yay. Her name is Evie, and she got hired. Okay, so accomplishments. Let me show you some. CCAR. There it is, CCAR. So you need to write your CCARs. There's a Monk Seal story. Here's one. This person created a schedule of 450 classes for 2 FFSC locations. There's the CCAR. And there's a short version for the resume that you can just use for your resume. I manage annual scheduling of 450 classes. Okay, then here's another one. CCAR and short version. Here's one for a COVID story, improving accountability processes. I really do recommend you expand your accomplishments into CCAR. Since we have 30 minutes remaining, I want to go back and do this little exercise. I want you to write 10 to 15 words of an accomplishment from the last 3 years or 5 years. I want you to do this. We have time for you to do this because I want you to share your accomplishments so people can see it. And then we can talk about how it can be expanded into the CCAR format. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do this. You can copy and paste an accomplishment out of your resume if you want and put it into this box here. But it's really a valuable exercise to share. Good idea, Michael. I agree.
Since I'm the money guy, I know we can write a check for 3 more.
Yeah, there you go. We'll send a book to everybody so you have the samples. All right. I want 10 to 15 words of an accomplishment from the last 3 years. Share with other people. It's important, y'all. Come on, Lorraine. You can start typing. I know she's got an accomplishment. This person created a new intern prep course. I'm going to wait. Come on, you guys. Got to think of something you did that was... Okay, here we go. Amy, worked in a hospital where I revamped the university training program. Oh, really? Wow, that's a great accomplishment. Wow. MSA University. So it was a training program. How many hours was the training program, Amy? Oh, 2 days. And did you rewrite all the curriculum? How old was the curriculum? Was the curriculum like 20 years old? Because that would be interesting for the update. Okay. Alan wrote, overseeing the qualifications and full training status for 45 employees under 9 months, well below the average of 12-month historical timeframes. Okay, Alan, so I got to know what you came up with. You can't just say that. So after you looked at the qualifications of full training status for 45 people, What did you find? Did you find that they completed their training, or did you find 50% of the 45 people did not finish their training? What was the result of your analysis of the qualifications? Can you please tell us like one thing? What did you find? That's a good story. That would be a great CCAR. Oh, you had to rewrite it because you went to Genesis. Oh, you had to rewrite all the curriculum. Amy had to rewrite the curriculum because they changed the system. So all the training curriculum had to change. Oh boy, that was big. Okay, Thomas wrote he managed 150,000 K donations during disaster. Oh yeah, for the Teddy Roosevelt problem. Yeah, you remember they all went into Guam and sat there for a long, long time. 1,500 of them had COVID. That was great. That's an accomplishment, big time. You should make that a CCAR, Thomas. I'm serious. Make it a CCAR, then put it into AI and tell AI to give you 60 words and you pop it in your resume. Thomas, you have it in your resume now, do you? Do you have it? Maybe you have it short version. 3,600 sailors. It was just terrible. Really bad. Okay, there's Amy's address. Well, I heard there was 5,500 people on the ship and 1,500 and they had to stay on the ship for months. It was terrible. Lorraine says she's not good at identifying her own accomplishments. Well, maybe you'll get better after this class. Maybe you'll get better. And after having the book, as I said, the book has the biggest chapter as accomplishments because I want to, if you don't add accomplishments now with the competition for federal or private industry, you're gonna lose out. You have to do it. Alan found a new streamlined process to get new hires trained. Oh, really? Really? And I guess that process was better, wasn't it? So how many hours or days was the new streamlined process? It was 2 days. And so how many days did it take? Or maybe you did improve the training. You see how much we need the CCAR? It helps tell the whole story. Thomas, where did you get the donations from? How did you do the donations? How did you get the donations? You'll have to add that into the CCAR. That would be actions. I communicated with, I wrote emails. I identified, fundraising methods. Oh my gosh, Alan saved 3 months from 12 months to 9 months. Oh, those are good numbers. Those are good numbers, Alan. So the training for the new hires went from 12 months to 9 months with the new process that he found. That's excellent. So Alan, you have that in your resume now? Yeah, you would hire him because it's great. He saved a lot of time. He saved a lot of money for the organization by doing that. I would hire him.
Hey, Kathryn, the question too was, if you land an interview, what do you think about thank you letters? And what do you put in them? That was a question from Thomas.
It's good. It's nice. You can do it and just say thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to your decision. I hope that I'm hired. I believe in your mission. Thank you so much. Goodbye. That's it. Just real short. Real short. And so we have a little bit of time, so let me tell you about the interview process for government. that CCAR builder that I showed you is very, very important to handle the interview, because they're going to ask you, tell me about a time when you resolved a problem. What was the problem? How did you resolve it? And you need to tell a problem-solving story. You can't just say, I'm really good at solving problems. Yeah, I do that. They call on me to do that all the time. Nope. Mm-hmm. You have to give an example of how you solve the problem. One of my favorite problem-solving examples came from the U.S. Mint. I taught a bunch of classes for them. And one of the coin manufacturers said, he said this, I came into work on third shift, 3 a.m., and started cranking my coins. I had to get X number of quarters out, in a couple days. And I started my machine, and it was stopped. It wasn't working anymore. And, I was trying to figure out how to fix it, and I couldn't do it all by myself. So I called the supervisor, and I called another person to help. I'd really like to troubleshoot myself instead. So what we did was we lifted the equipment up with some equipment from the ceiling. We lifted it up, and we could see below. All the equipment has opening underneath all the equipment, and it was filled with quarters. And they had never seen it before. They had never seen the quarters before. So that was his troubleshooting story, is that he wanted to fix it himself, but he couldn't because he had deadlines. He called in other people to help. They lifted the equipment, which is a massive undertaking right there, and found the quarters, and then he was able to fix the problem eventually. So it's storytelling. Donations came from all over the world. Really? Oh, so you had to make it clear. Were you on the USS Roosevelt? You were, weren't you? Yeah, you were. Oh, yeah. Oh, they came to the individual sailors in quarantine. Okay, Thomas, you got to tell me. I know you have your resume there. I think you do. So you can read to us or type in here. How do you have the USS Roosevelt story in your resume now? It's probably short. And you can make it better, because see, these details are so good. You distributed the goods. It's really, really, you don't have it in there? Well, get over it. A key accomplishment, man. And I don't care if it was 4 years ago. You need to make it sound really good. You totally need to write that on my CCAR builder. I'm not kidding. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for it with your name. I got your email. That's going to be a good story. The same with Alan. Process saved the process 3 months, down from 12 to 9. Alan, that needs to be a CCAR. You have to write about the challenge, the timing, the quality of the training, and then the actions were that you found new training processes, you developed new curriculum, you did the instruction, and the results. That needs to become a CCAR. And then put it into Microsoft AI. Please write this accomplishment in 60 words, and it will make you a great accomplishment.
He did get a Navy and Army Commendation Medal, though.
Yeah, you should have. I agree with that. Put that at the very end under the results, the very last sentence of the result. I was awarded for this for my efforts. Put that in there, and AI will pick that up. It will. That's great. That was a lot of work. So you were on the ship, weren't you? I know you were. So these accomplishments are excellent. You all can see the value of accomplishments now. Oh, you were on the base. Well, you did a good job helping those people stuck on that ship. Must have been horrible. For how many months were they stuck on there? Was it 4 months or more? They were sick too. Yeah, 4 or 5 months. Okay, Amy, she established relationships with local law enforcement to ensure police reports, evidence, statements are available for, family advocacy providers, investigative. So, Amy, before you did the relationships with all this to get all this evidence, before that, was there any kind of communication to help with family advocacy? How was it before you established those relationships? Tell us what it was like. Very little. That's not good. That's not good. You need the evidence to help the family members. You totally need it big time. That's a great CCAR. That's a really good CCAR. You did good work there. Nobody wanted to drive around and make connections. I know. But you need to have the documentation that you need for Carson. So you can see why CCAR is so good. You have the details for the accomplishment. You know the context. It's where you were, your job title, where you worked. The challenge was there was a problem. Actions were 1, 2, 3. Those are what you did. I did this, I did that. And results were you fixed it, you made it better. And that's what you have to do. Maybe 3 of them for the resume, and then 3 short versions for the resume. That would be good. I just did one for myself. Let me show you the one I did for myself. I just did it today. Here's my bio here. Oh, I know where it is. I have it on the CCAR page right here. CCAR Builder. And I have my accomplishment right here, accomplishment samples. And I put my story in there about creating this curriculum called 10 Steps to a Federal Job that I created. Look, it goes on and on and on and on. You don't want to read it.
Oh,
but I put it into AI this morning. I popped this in here today.
Oh, look at you. That's good.
In response to 9/11 demand for federal employment, I created 10 Steps to a Federal Job curriculum to simplify the complex federal hiring process for thousands of job seekers. I published multiple editions, developed certification program, trained more than 1,200 counselors, adopted by major DoD services. The curriculum became the first standardized federal job search program taught at more than 75 military bases globally. That's all true. I did that. And it took it, all this stuff here, all that I wrote, which nobody will read, and it created that nice paragraph. Wow. It's really impressive. And I did that. I did do that after 9/11. At Resume Place, my business, we had so many people calling, wanting federal jobs because, they want to help protect America for real. And I taught this curriculum to the public at Montgomery College. I taught it to the public. 40 people per class for people that wanted to get government jobs back then. And the book is still here. Here it is. 10 Steps to a Federal Job. Mm-hmm. I just updated it because of the 2-page thing. Of course, you have to. So I want to know what other questions you have about writing your 2-page federal resume. I'll ask you a question. What is the hardest part of writing the 2-page resume for you? What's the hardest part? Share. I know you have to think about it, don't you?
Hey, Kathryn, probably trying to get everything on 2 pages. That's the hardest part. I think, if you had a 30-year career, that would be the hardest part, trying to get everything on 2 pages.
It is very difficult. And Lorraine says coming up with accomplishments, that's very hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those might be the 2 hardest things, is getting it down to 2 pages and getting all the content in there. And then, Joel says mil to Sibylla translation. Oh, Joel, let me tell you something. I teach a certification program, the 10 steps thing. And I have a person in my class who's married to a retiring military officer. And he was told to take out all of his military information, job titles and locations and everything. So he took it all out. And she sent me the resume. And it was very hard to understand. He said, recruiter, state government agency, recruiter, state government agency. And I said, well, I thought you said he worked for the military. And she said, oh, yes, he does work for the military. But we were told to take all that out. Well, then it was not understandable. So I got another version with it in, all the military in there, the job titles, locations, and everything. And he had been a recruiter all those years. And I found a job for him to apply to on USA Jobs, human resources recruiter. And he's going to keep the military stuff in there because federal HR people, they like military. They understand it. And don't take it out. Leave it. Leave it in there for federal. Private sector, you could reduce it some. But, so that keep the military stuff in there. All right. Here's Amy. She said there's no need to list previous jobs anymore. Oh, yeah. You have to write about 10 years. 10 years. Emphasis is 10 years. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think you should stop at 10 years. I think you should make the next jobs really, really short. Let's say you work 20 years. So 10 years would be a page and a half. And then the next 10 years could be this much right here. Has to be shorter. Alan says, after all the years, hardest what to cut and not because, I know it's hard to cut, but you have to. You just have to decide what's relevant. Think about what's relevant for the job and also think about what's recent. Old jobs are not even going to read. So just keep a line, one sentence or something. You don't have to keep it long. Hard time cutting, yeah. Military to civilian. I think you should, Joel, what you should do is write your resume with all the military stuff in there. Just do it straight. And then go back and try to change half of it. That's what I would do. When I work with people who are intelligence and they can't tell all the details of their projects because it's secret, I tell them, write the project, your intelligence project, as it really happened for yourself. And then after you write it, take out all the specifics that can't be shown. And then you have your story. That's how you do it. It's just write it and then change words. All right, so I have one question I want to ask you, and we're going to wrap up here. You only got a couple minutes. I want to know, what are your top 2 takeaways from the class? And the class, remember, was to teach you how to write a 2-page federal resume that will get you best qualified and referred and hopefully to the interview and hired. That's the job. Top 2 takeaways to help you write a better 2-page federal resume. What are your top 2 takeaways? You can speak them if you want. Oh, no, you're on mute. Just write them. Oh, that's good. Use of AI, USA Jobs to pull the data from you. Yeah, so good. I think using AI for keywords and using AI for short accomplishments is amazing. Yeah. The structure of the resume, yes. All the formats I have in the book, you can choose a format you like and follow it. Thomas, how to tackle accomplishments. Yeah, I know. We have to tackle them. Right? That's a good word. I'm going to use that for a blog. I'm going to use it. I like it, Thomas. I'm going to give you credit. Look out. Tackle accomplishment. Interface with core and key. How to interface. Yeah, that's right. Stop listing duties. Start using accomplishments. Say I in the resume. Oh, right, Lorraine. That's a good list. You got it. It's great. Oh, really, Joel? Really? I'm in an executive TAP class this week, and we went over AI today. Oh, very good. And I wonder how they taught you AI in that class. I would love to know. Did they do keywords? Probably, I would hope. How to handle your hiring authority. Yeah, Alan. Put your hiring authorities at the top. Veterans preference, or 30% or more disabled veteran, or if you're a military spouse, EO 13473. If you're, you could also, if you're 30% or more disabled, you could also add Schedule A. It's the same thing. Keywords and 4 main prompts, as well as free versus paid AI. Well, the one I use is free. AI, that's Microsoft. Well, I have Microsoft, so, it's included in that. Yeah. All right. Well, so my objective with teaching the class, Tom says, remember, it's not just 2 pages, it's 1 page. Got 61 years. Oh, really? Gemini. Huh. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? What do you put in here? Oh, you're giving us example about where. Oh, is this what they taught you in the executive tap right here? I'll bet it is. Yeah. I'm going to keep this. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Thank you very much for putting that in there. That's good. Slides. And yes, you can have my email address. Here it is. There we go, right there. And the slides, I gave them. You can send them to everybody. I think they put them in the chat.
We put them in the chat.
They're somewhere in there.
Before we begin the class, we got them in the chat, Kathryn. So you can go down and download the slides.
Yeah.
They're in the chat at the beginning of the presentation.
Yeah, you can have them, no problem. And then you're going to get a copy of the book. Gerald, you want to tell them how that's going to work?
Yeah, we're going to give you a copy of the book. You got the money man on the call tonight, Mr. Mike True. So we bought books for everybody that attended the session tonight. You will get a book. So that's great. Hey, Kathryn, my last point before I close out. What about your website here? I see your website.
Here too. Resume-place.com.
Yeah, okay. So
and then I'll show you one more thing before we go. My newsletter is really good. And recently I wrote about keywords. Look, I've got 2 samples right there. Instructional systems design. And this has the entire thing, what I just showed you. I've got keywords here. And then I wrote a couple of, there, look at that. Right there. See that? I put it right in there. So you can look at it with the blog. Sign up for my newsletter. And then I wrote an article called, Is Your Federal Resume Boring or Impressive? And I wrote about a nuclear engineer resume that was boring and became impressive. And see what happens here. Look at this. She's in my other book. So that's what she wrote first for the whole resume. 4 bullets. That's it. That's the whole thing. And then after I talked to her, we wrote more duties. And then look at this accomplishment. She led the restoration of 100 plus nuclear propulsion components for the USS Ohio and resulting in the successful return of a 40-year-old submarine to national security after a 2-year overhaul. And when I met her, she was in the Wounded Warrior program. I met her and I said, really? Did you really find and fix 100 components? And she said, yes, I did that. So that's in my newsletter. Let me give you the page from the newsletter here. So sign up for my newsletter. I'm trying to make them very interesting and impactful. And I'm determined you're going to add accomplishments to your resumes. Didn't see the whole chat, huh? Want me to copy it out of here and you can see it. Let me copy it. We have everybody's email, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
And this also, they will also be able to go and see this video recording on the MPRA homepage.
Okay.
It'll be made available, and the chat messages and those kinds of things are also viewable.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Well, I'll just open up a Word file here. And look, I got the chat from today. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. I didn't get it. Hold on. Don't close that on me. There's your, make sure you put your addresses in here now. Oh, Michael, yeah, I'll connect with you. I'll connect with all of you. I'll look up your LinkedIn.
You and I are already connected, Kathryn.
Okay.
Hey, Kathryn, while you put some stuff in the chat, I want to say thanks again. You can tell you really have a passion for what are you doing, for everyone. So I want to say thanks. You coming in and provide some valuable time to the audience here. So on behalf of the Military Police Regimental Association, we can't thank you enough. Mike came in and and basically suggested we bring you in as a speaker. And I would tell you, this is exactly what we needed here. And we would definitely put this on the MPRA website. And I'm pretty sure everybody here tonight got a lot from this session. It was very, very worthwhile. And, Mike mentioned that you was one of the best in the night. You really, really proved it. So thanks again for coming on.
Thank you. And
sharing your valuable time. It is definitely going to be worthwhile. And this whole 2-page federal resume thing is something new. And so I think everybody on this call will agree to the information you provided tonight. It's going to be very, very valuable to them in the future. So thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you. I was not able to copy the chat out. Can you get the chat from your Zoom account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Get the chat out of there. If you send it to me, I can clean it up before we send it to people, because I like to have my questions like in yellow or something, and then people can read it better instead of a big mess. So thank you very much for inviting me. Yes, I do have a passion for it. I want people to get best qualified and referred. And I'm really serious about what I'm saying with accomplishments and keywords in the format. Oh, you saw me for what you got. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Good. I've been everywhere. You can name a place I've been there.
Yeah, again, if you don't mind, Beth and Kathryn, if you can go to the end of your slide presentation, we're going to tee up the next speaker for the next section we got coming up. I think she's on the line. Ms.
Okay.
Kofi. She's from the American Corporate Partners. She will be doing the next leader professional development session, and she's on to line tonight. So we got another presenter. So Leslie, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell you the type of material that you will cover. Hey, Leslie, how you doing?
Good to meet you.
I'm so blessed. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I will be super brief and let you all get on to your evening. I'm Leslie Coffey, the VP of Military Engagement for ACP. Look forward to chatting with the group in June, and we're going to talk about the power of mentorship, especially one-to-one, customized, fully monitored, fully supported mentorship.
Well, excellent. I believe in mentorship big time. It's very important. It's been good for me in my career. I've got a guy who goes to all the OPM HR classes and training, and he shares what he learns with me.
Amazing. Yeah. Yes. It totally changed my career trajectory as well.
That's right. I get it from him.
Yeah. Thanks, Leslie, for coming on.
Of course.
And again, this is my pitch for the Military Police Regimental Association. Beth, you can kind of real quick just discuss some membership intake for the MPRA and kind of the overall process and the registration part. Beth, you can say a few words on that before we close out.
Absolutely. So yes, this is one of the benefits of our membership is sharing this information, attending the webinars. But we offer different types of membership. We have a standard membership for those who have the background with law enforcement. We have the friends and family membership for those who do not have a background in law enforcement, and of course, the corporate partnerships as well. But with that, what the membership is going toward is helping towards our programs, our legacy programs being our scholarship program, our regimental walkway and Memorial Grove, and then also for our MPRA aid account, which is formerly the MPRA Benevolent Fund, which is a financial grant assistance program to help MP and MP families when they come on financial hard times. We've got various, as I said, you can see on the slide here. Are you able to see these slides first?
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that way, at least you can kind of see what our membership options are, at least for the standard membership. But on this slide here, and I apologize that my computer's wanting to move very slow at the moment. But this is where you can see, what our the benefits are of being a member, and it's also, sharing this information. Do you have to be a member to attend these webinars? No. Do we hope that you will become a member so that way you can help us in sharing our legacy? 100%, because it's important. Again, the esprit de corps, but also the networking opportunities involved with being a part of your professional organization. Are there any questions in regards to membership? Hearing none, Jared, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Hey, Beth, I want to thank you for your leadership. I kind of call you my boss as far as the MPRA. Thanks again for what you do on a daily basis, because a lot of work goes into putting this thing together. and you do it very, very well. And to my other peers on the call, Mike Drew and Oliver Saunders and Matt, thanks again for helping prepare this presentation for the group. But overall, it's a home run from my perspective. Tonight was a great night, and Kathryn, your words tonight was very, very inspirational as far as in this 2-page resume. And if I was looking for a job and I wasn't in the federal sector, I'd definitely be giving you a call. But this was definitely good. So thanks again tonight for joining in.
Thank you.
And support the MPRA, and may God bless you and have a great night. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Good night.
Good night.